Welcome back to you, baby dolls. You are a sour raspberry cheesecake. I do love and appreciate you. We have juicy news today. Suck up that juice, friends, because we're going to like and enjoy it. US CPI, or as I call it, the Kippy, has ticked lower. One of my friends, Andrew, wanted to let you know of the story of how we called it Kippy. There were trainees that used to come in and trade with us in the office. And I would make imaginary vocal sounds for different naming standards of the trading industry. And these guys, these young bright kids would come in and they go, oh, wow, what's this? I go, CPI. Who uses CPI? The big boys around here. We call it the Kippy. And be rest assured, friends, they all got hammered for it. And they had no idea who told them in the first place. Now, DataDash, otherwise known as Nick, he's a friend of the channel. He is still bearish on altcoins, which is actually the most important news of all, friends. Don't worry about any of these news when it comes to these macro stuff, because really, at the end of the day, I mean, who cares, really? We're here for the crowd sentiment, right? We've also seen PulseX hit 2.69% buy and burn, which is actually very juicy. But if we're looking at the macro stuff, that's the undertone of all of our crypto bags. We're looking at the US inflation. We just need it to keep coming down. We need the market to start pricing in the rate cuts, and we know the rate cuts are actually bearish. But once finally people are like, now they're going to cut rates, now it can get in, that usually means it's doom time. All right, now we're looking at the Bitcoin price chart. You don't really need to look at it, friends. When it comes to this, how many times have I told you? Whenever there is US inflation data or GDP or jobs, no matter what it is, open up, you go to TradingView, type in US 0 to Y. And this will give you the US 2-year bond yield. This is a cheat code, friends. That's why I spend so much time talking about it. It's literally the cheat code. You don't even need to interpret anything. Just go look at this and say, all right, what are we doing? If this candle goes red, remember, this is the rate, the yield. So it was above 5% before. And if you go to Forex Factory, if you look at the bottom left, you'll be actually to be able to tell all the central bank rates. Look at the US, friends. The USD, 5.5%. I know it's very small. So you're wondering, like, wait a minute. If you're 5.5% and the Fed said they're going to keep hiking rates and holding longer, and I know you like it long, make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. If that's true, why is the US 2-year yield at 4.8%? That's strange. It's almost like the market is pricing in what's ahead. It's like the big players, the insiders, they know things are coming around the corner. So they don't want to be trading this at 5.5%, which is what the rate is here. So this is where, if the US Fed wasn't bluffing, friends, this chart would be up here, right? It would be up here. But they are bluffing. Look where we are. This is a 75 basis point difference. So the market's saying, we don't believe you. And, you know, I want to tell you something, interpretation. People who believe in roses and fairies and unicorns, they will say, oh, the market's pricing it in. Yeah, it's a fair and open system. Wrong. They got hunchbacks. The truth is that the deep state insiders or people with competitive advantages, such as Rocca Negra or other people who not only know the future narratives, they control the future narratives. Those people, when they know the information, remember, it's very hard to keep secrets. So it slowly leaks to their friends. And those friends will do plays in the biggest market in the world, which is the bond market, which is trillions and trillions of dollars. And so none of them want to commit trillions of dollars to betting on rates staying higher for longer. They don't want to do that. Now, you might say to me, well, how does it happen without them really knowing? Well, friends, look at this, man. If you had a friend and they were about to cross the road and you saw a bus coming, and this friend's going to go, are you going to say, oh, no, golly gee, if my friend was meant to make it in life, I'm just going to let him, right? I'm just going to let him cross the road. You're not going to say that. You're going to be like, hey, man, like, chill out. Your pants are off. You got glitter on your face. You haven't slept in 3 days. Don't cross the road. There's a bus coming. Well, it's the same thing with this. It's literally the same thing. The bus is the economy, okay? And then there's these guys with billions and billions of dollars and all these funds. They have the insider information. They know. There's slowly leaks that come out. They're like, I don't want you to go do this big, massive bet or a big expansion or something that requires a booming economy or higher rates for longer, I don't want you to go do that. Instead, you better pull back a bit. And slowly, this information, as they pull back a bit, friends, this translates into the market rates doing this. That's why the market will like slowly turn and will start to price cuts in before they actually happen. Don't forget, you are my friend. So if you notice, this is the Bitcoin chart, and I have been telling you pump and dump and pump and dump and pump and dump, and we come back down. Now, what I hate and love about crypto is how we move in ranges, friends. In ranges, crypto moves in ranges up and to the right like this. Okay, up and to the right. That's how we actually move in ranges. And it's very confusing. Why? Because you're constantly breaking the high, failing, breaking the high, failing, breaking the high, failing. All right, so you can't look at everything on an even playing field. It's just too much emotional money going up. So when you're trying to interpret this, just know that you still have the macro undertones. That's the most important part. The bullish macro undertones is literally the number one thing. It's the only thing that says, hey, even though Bitcoin went down and ticked to 34,000, are we going to go back down to 28? Like, it's the only thing that keeps you in the game. You know what else keeps you in the game? You know exactly what keeps you in the game, friends. We're going to crank it. We're going to crank it. Are you ready? Look at this. Weekly super trend. The whole year. Green. The whole time. Not one single failure point. I kept you bullish this whole time, even when my own mental state was degrading. And I'm like, oh, it's a scam. It's a scam. It's all a scam. But yeah, friends, look, this is why everybody watches me. I tell you it's a piece of trash scam, but I still hold because that's what it's about, man. Trust me. At the tops, you are not going to feel bearish. You're going to have a libido that you didn't think was humanly possible on somebody over the age of 16. All right. And at the bottoms, friends, no matter what you're on, illicit substances, no matter how much money you have in the bank, I'm telling you, your balls, grab them because they're not going to be there at the lows. They're going to be little sultanas. There's nothing there. Put them back in the packet. Just go get a refund because that's what this game is all about. Unfortunately, the crowd, to give you the prices, they got to feel euphoric. And when they feel euphoric, trust me, you're feeling it too. It's literally impossible. That's why a lot of the great traders, they say, don't look at anyone, don't smell anyone, just read the chart because you will be able to just like the indicators flash on a weekly or a monthly and you're like, oh, okay, this thing's pretty high and you don't get caught up in the bubble. You know, friends, you also see when it comes to all this data out, you'll see people talk about, like, for example, talk about the US dollar, the Dixie. We don't really care about that. You and I care about the price of money, the interest rate. That's why we're looking at the US 2-year yield. That's really important because if the price of money is going lower, well, guess what? They won't be able to earn a return. That's why then they have to come in to our beautiful Ponzi land of crypto. But of course, sometimes there are more indicators out there which nobody can hold a candle to, and that is Mr. DataDash, Nick. Nick is a friend of the channel, and he is still skeptical and bearish. I even made a breaking news here. Let's listen to him.
Even fundamental plays like Chainlink, which I like. Chainlink has expanded across the crypto ecosystem. But the fundamental question is, what are the new use cases for oracles? Like, what new DeFi applications are out there? What new NFT applications are out there? What big companies are getting into the space? There's nothing. Like, nothing substantial.
Friends, I'm going to play some angel music, right? I'm actually going to label Nick a friend. You know, I was actually starting to feel a bit bearish. Just a tiny bit. And I thought, God, if you're out there, send me a sign, please. He sent one. I don't know how this happens, friends. I'm just telling you, so many times we finally look, maybe many times we're starting disbelief in crypto. And I'm like, oh no, that person who's always bearish is now bullish already. Guess what? The first red candle, they're bearish again. I'm like, oh, sweet, we got legs to go. That's why it's really hard, friends. When euphoria comes, you're not even going to believe it. Of course you won't, because you'll be like, what do you mean? We're just getting started, but all the signs will be there. All right. That's the important part. So Why is this important? It's important because we need fuel to go up. So when you see someone like Nick, dear Nick, when he's saying, well, I don't see your use case. I don't see this. I don't see that. That is what he's basically saying is, so I'm here to translate it for you. It means he has US dollars on the left-hand side in his wallet, okay? So here's his wallet. He still has US dollars there left to deploy, okay? When he's talking on this side, right? He's talking on this side, all right? If he was saying, guys, it's clear, Chainlink's just taken over all of crypto. Like, I don't know what you're waiting for. That means he's now in. He doesn't have any US dollars to deploy yet, all right? You can just get an average view, polls, surveys, and just feel out in the market. Twitter's really useful to do this, and YouTube too. And you can just smell, the people talking, do I feel like they've got US dollars in their account, or do they have altcoins in the account? Now, why I confuse a lot of people is because what people interpret as super mega heavy FUD, I'm actually all in. Okay, but it's not to people think I'm trying to fake you out. No, I'm not, friends. It's for me. It's because when something's down a lot, all right, you have to be able to actually like verbally say, hey, the price action sucks. We have a lot of windfalls, a lot of headfalls. Yes, we do. These are the bad things that have happened, but I'm still long. I've accepted them and I'm still in the game. If you don't say that to yourself or even write that down, then unfortunately you increase the probability that as things go up a bit, you get out. Or even worse, you sell at the bottoms. This is what happens, okay? Because all this time, new information's coming in and people don't know what to do. You're like, there's new information. You never told me. What about the imaginary horrible? All this stuff keeps coming. It keeps coming at you. I know you like coming family show, right? If you don't process it earlier, you're going to get wrecked. Of course you're going to get wrecked. Because, friends, what I've been telling you since the start, I go, Roca Negra ETF is trash. You understand? I've been telling you since the bear market. I've been saying like, man, if they dangle that ETF, I'll be literally saying it here during depth, talking about, okay, what would a bull market look like? Of course, it didn't feel good. I'm like, oh man, if crypto ever doesn't go to zero, I wonder if they would dangle the Bitcoin ETF in front of us. And look, it's happening right now. But why was I able to say, I'm like, dude, I've been talking about this when you all thinking we're going to 10K and below. All right, so that's how you stay ahead of the game. You're not trying to predict narratives, but what we're doing is we're looking at these different points out here and we go, you know what? I've accepted these data points and any if these happen, I know exactly what they mean for the game. Speaking of game, the game's all about making money, highest growth. To get the highest growth, you've got to find the lowest price. To find the lowest price, you got to find what's hated, all right? Not what they say is hated, not Soilana, all right? Actually hated, all right? No one likes Richard Hart. No one likes Hex, PulseChain, PulseX community. You know what's funny? Even within the community, there are people saying, that's toxic Hex maxis. Why won't they just let us play with the poop coins? It's all part of the package, you understand? You need everybody there. You can't be whinging about anybody in there, friends. And when I do see whinging, I like it. Have you ever noticed? I never go on Twitter and I'm like, guys, stop fighting amongst yourselves. I'll only go and defend people who are like, with a big megaphone, okay? Because everybody else, you actually need it. I know you're like, that's counterproductive. No, it's not, all right? The energy keeps you coming back. You understand? Like, you see some people just keep coming back, make replies, make posts, form different opinions. You want that, okay? My neighbor, Litecoin. Do you think anybody cares about Litecoin? Are you ever going to change your consensus mechanism? No one cares. Nobody cares. They can double the supply of Litecoin tomorrow. No one really is going to give a damn at all. You understand? So this is what you want to see. Now, Pulse is minus 35% of the below day one sack. Remember, it is real DeFi. You also have PulseX minus 80%. We're still waiting. Almost hit the 2-year mark now. This is combined Hex as well, friends. Combined Hex is back to 1.8 cents as well. When it comes to these, you just got to think, all right, what's going on here? Well, I still think, this is me, this is the Pulse Hex ratio. If we did this move in risk off, which is defensive, which is Bitcoin going down, which is garbage Gensler coming to chug all the semen and the soy, which is everybody not feeling good. If we did that move, then I'm taking the bet that when we feel good, this move happens. That's what I'm taking the bet. Now, you don't have to do that. That's just how I feel. I feel Pulse and PulseX will continue to grow, has huge upside, same side as Hex, but this is what you want to see. This is a healthy ecosystem. And of course, every day, every single day, you wake up, friends, 2.69% is still burned. This is what you want to see. I just wake up, I look at this every day. Just know that as long as people keep trading and gambling and swapping and doing this portfolio stuff, doesn't really matter. The compounding effect of them is going to keep buying and burning the supply. It works in the background in your favor. Also want to finish with this Chainlink chart. This is super important. Do you remember Chainlink? Okay, on a weekly chart, look at the swing. It's going, come back, I want to get in. Like, we got no mercy for you guys. We're going offside for like 2 years, okay? And we finally get 3 weeks of it going up, right? Like, no one ever said, oh, you should come back when it went all, look at me, red candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 red candles in a row, and you still couldn't bounce for 2 years. Like, disgusting, right? So what I tell you, if, and our financial advice, go buy bonds, go speak to a financial advisor. If you want to participate in anything that's moving during the bull market and you didn't buy the cheapest prices, just make it easy for yourself. You put a daily chart, put a super trend on it, or put a 21 EMA, or put all of them, okay? And just go, all right, if you touch the 21 EMA, you add some. That's all you can do. And by the way, this is not guaranteed. Look at this. I can give you many examples. If you try to do it, you get freaking wrecked. Okay, not really wrecked, but just look at it. There's no free lunch events. Look at this. You go, oh, it touched the 21 EMA. I'm going to get in. And look at this. 125 days later, look, Chainlink looks like it's going to zero. So these aren't perfect, but at least during a bull market, you got a fighting chance. So I can give you an example here. Look at this. Okay, so you need to get it early, by the way. So as it flips green here, you get the first touch to the 21 EMA. But look, it's not perfect. There are times here, look, you're waiting here. You're waiting at $5.80. Chainlink's at $7. Next stop, 20. Right? And then when it finally lets you in at $11, you're going to be cursing yourself down here. So it is not perfect whatsoever. The only thing you can do is just increase your time frame. That's really the only way to make it. But if you're going to play this game, at least you get to wait. Because if you truly, really want these things, wait and see how you feel about them when the price dip comes. Make sure you like and subscribe, belly button, all friends. I do love and appreciate you. Catch you very soon.